If you're looking to make a boss melting build, well, there is a brand new weapon that you absolutely must have. Not only does this weapon do an insane amount of damage to bosses and enemies, but it is also incredible in PvP. So if you are an invader or a PvP enjoyer, this thing has one of the best gap closing abilities I've ever seen in a FromSoft game. That being said, it is extremely easy to miss this weapon, and I did not know it existed for a very, very long time. But have no fear if you have not found it. Let me take you on a journey and show you just how to get one of the best weapons in Elden Ring. The first thing that you need to do in order to get this weapon is to gain access to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Once you are inside the DLC, you'll need to make your way over to the Ruined Forge of Starfall Past. Just like any other forge in the game, this contains a lot of golems, lava, and very, very fun and unique throwing weapons, which are new to the DLC as well. The thing that sets this forge apart, though, is the fact that once you have solved the puzzles and made your way through the forge, well, there's actually one extra item that you probably missed. I thought I did a pretty thorough job exploring this place, but I missed it, and so I'm assuming other people may have as well. What I didn't realize is that inside the forge, there is a lever that you pull which raises and lowers a gate. This gate is required to be lowered in order to fully complete this tiny mini dungeon. After you have lowered the gate, pull the lever one more time and jump on top of the gate. Run across it like you would a bridge, and on the other side of this gate, you will find the weapon that we are hunting for. The Ancient Meteoric Ore Greatsword. Now there are a few things that sets this weapon apart from pretty much any other weapon in the game. First off, it has incredible scaling with 3 different stats. So first off, what that means is that it will scale very, very well into New Game Plus and beyond. Second, it does both physical and magic damage, meaning that a lot of bosses that have resistances to one or the other will not always be able to resist all of your damage, giving you a great damage split and being able to pump out massive, massive amounts of damage. Third, this thing is one of the longest weapons in Elden Ring. It has a massive, massive reach, allowing you to keep enemies at a very, very good distance while also not having to sacrifice actual weapon damage. Last but certainly not least is the weapon skill, which does a very, very long dash forward followed up by a huge damaging AoE magic explosion. Now pair this up with the Shard of Alexander and what you have is just an obscene amount of damage both to enemies and bosses alike. But that's just the PvE aspect of this. In PvP, this thing is also an absolute beast. If you're sick of having to conform to the meta of using lasers and lots of other kind of cheese weapons, well, this is one that can counter those very, very effectively. Like I said earlier, I am really bad at Elden Ring PvP, and this thing made me feel like I could actually compete with a lot of players. Because of the length of this weapon, it is also extremely effective at catching people out of their roles. Also, if you come across one of those many, many people that just shoot lasers at you from a million miles away, I'll show some footage here of me getting stun locked by someone just trying to laser me down. Well, I was able to close the gap and actually defeat them in this duel because of the weapon skill. Because of the massive dash forward, I was able to close the gap and win the duel. This thing is an amazing PvP weapon that can counter a lot of the current meta builds. It made someone like me, who's bad at PvP, feel like I could compete. If I can compete, you can too. So hopefully this helped give you some inspiration on how to counter those pesky laser builds in PvP, as well as a great new weapon when it comes to just melting bosses in front of you. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an Elden Ring video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.